I think
So her
more
record
Americans
is his
agree with
record.
that. Well, they work together. It's a
That's
team.
all you need, President Trump. Just run on the record.
I agree. Look at the largest investment in infrastructure since Eisenhower, largest investment in fighting climate change in world history, and as we mentioned, capping insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicare. If you want that to be her record, I'm there.
Yeah, none of that happened.
Harry Sisson, the TikTok star, just had his credibility shattered live on Piers Morgan's show. Harry has been making waves as a Gen Z political commentator and has been dominating the conversation online, but not for reasons he'd hoped. Let us give you some background. Harry J. Sisson, born in 2002, is a well-known American social media influencer who made a name for himself through political advocacy on TikTok. Currently attending New York University, Sisson started his TikTok journey in 2020 while still in high school. His account began gaining traction later that year when he posted a video supporting Joe Biden, which resonated with young audiences and helped him grow his following. For those unfamiliar with Harry, his journey into the political spotlight wasn't accidental. At just 21 years old, Harry carved out a niche on TikTok as a voice for Gen Z, a demographic often sidelined in mainstream political discourse. His videos, often featuring relatable humor mixed with impassioned rants, struck a chord with young audiences. By the time of the 2024 U.S. presidential election, Sisson had firmly established himself as a Gen Z political voice, nearly doubling his social media followers during the intense political climate. His takes and unapologetically progressive stance earned him a significant audience, particularly among younger voters eager to engage in political discussions online. Known for his energetic and relatable content, Harry used his platform to highlight issues like climate change, education, and voting rights, positioning himself as a digital advocate for progressive causes. He also has a knack for rallying his audience against Republican policies, and thus Harry has built a substantial following. He quickly became a recognizable face in progressive circles, with many praising him for mobilizing younger voters. But as his popularity grew, so did the criticisms. Whispers of him being a Democratic Party puppet began surfacing, with detractors alleging that his rise wasn't as organic as it seemed. These criticisms hit a crescendo recently following Harry's now infamous appearance on Piers Morgan's show. Confidently predicting that Joe Biden would easily win re-election, Harry dismissed any notion that the president was struggling politically. This bold claim was not just a prediction, it was a statement that Harry staked his credibility on. Here is what happened. In this disastrous live TV appearance on Piers Morgan's show, where he faced off against Tyrus, Harry revealed cracks in his political brand and left many questioning whether his rise was built on substance or showmanship. The fallout has been a mix of viral ridicule and serious conversations about the role of influencers in politics. Unfortunately for Harry, the data told a different story. At the time, Biden's approval ratings were in freefall, hovering around 40% swing state voters, traditionally leaning Democratic, were signaling their frustrations. Even prominent Democratic insiders had expressed doubts about Biden's chances of securing a second term. Harry, however, ignored all these warning signs and doubled down on his narrative. Now enter Tyrus. During a heated live debate, Tyrus, a former wrestler turned political commentator, went head-to-head with Harry Sisson, and the result was anything but favorable for the young TikToker. Tyrus, known for his sharp humor and knack for hard-hitting facts, systematically picked apart Harry's arguments, leaving him visibly outmatched. At one point, Tyrus made a biting comment, sarcastically questioning how Harry could label Biden as the sharpest political figure while highlighting the president's well-known gaffes. Though framed as humor, Tyrus's remarks carried a deeper critique, emphasizing Harry's unwillingness to confront the very real challenges Biden was facing politically. The exchange became a standout moment, not just for its entertainment value but for the way it exposed Harry's reliance on broad narratives rather than solid rebuttals. For viewers, it was a stark reminder that Harry's confident online persona didn't necessarily translate into strong, well-rounded debating skills on larger platforms. The debate quickly went viral, with many highlighting Tyrus's ability to zero in on Harry's weaknesses while maintaining his characteristic wit, leaving Harry struggling to defend his position. It was a moment that left a lasting impression on both fans and critics alike. Harry attempted to defend his stance, claiming that Biden's leadership was solid and that his declining support was overstated. However, as the discussion progressed, it became increasingly clear that Harry hadn't come prepared. His responses felt vague and overly reliant on partisan talking points, a stark contrast to Tyrus's sharp rebuttals. By the end of the segment, even those who had previously supported Harry couldn't ignore how outmatched he appeared. The timing of this incident couldn't have been worse for Harry. Shortly after the debate, Biden announced that he wouldn't seek re-election. For many, this was a moment of vindication, proof that the signs had been there all along and that Harry had chosen to ignore them. What did Harry do to save his face? Rather than acknowledging his misjudgment, Harry attempted to spin the news as a noble decision by Biden to pass the torch to the next generation of leaders. Behind the scenes, however, insiders confirmed that the president's decision had been driven by pressure from donors and strategists who were concerned about his electability. This contradiction between Harry's narrative and the political reality further eroded his credibility. It wasn't just the Biden prediction that fueled Harry's growing list of critics. Over the months leading up to the debate, his political commentary had become increasingly inconsistent. For instance, he confidently tweeted that Biden would never pardon his son, Hunter. When the pardon came, Harry's silence was deafening. Similarly, his frequent calls for Gen Z to mobilize against Trump lacked the depth and strategy needed to resonate beyond his TikTok audience. critics began accusing him of prioritizing virality over meaningful discourse, suggesting that he was more interested in performing for clicks than contributing to the political conversation. The accusations of Harry being a paid propagandist have followed him like a dark cloud, even though there's no solid proof to support them. Critics, including outspoken figures like C.J. Pearson, have claimed Harry acts as a mouthpiece for the Democratic National Committee. While these allegations remain unverified, the mere suggestion has taken a toll on his reputation. The alignment between Harry's talking points and official Democratic messaging has raised eyebrows, with skeptics questioning how someone with minimal political experience managed to break into major platforms so quickly. This speculation has cast doubt on Harry's authenticity, a critical aspect of his appeal as a voice for Gen Z. For an influencer whose brand relies on being relatable and genuine, the idea that his opinions might be scripted or influenced by party insiders has been difficult to shake. Whether the allegations are true or not, they've created a narrative that Harry can't easily escape, making it harder for him to connect with audiences who value transparency in their political figures. The Tyrus takedown in many ways was the culmination of all these criticisms. It wasn't just that Harry lost the debate. It was how unprepared he appeared when faced with someone who challenged him directly. Tyrus didn't just point out the flaws in Harry's arguments. He highlighted a broader issue with influencer-driven political commentary. Unlike traditional pundits, who often have years of experience and access to insider knowledge, influencers like Harry rely heavily on their charisma and ability to connect with their audience. But as this incident showed, that connection isn't enough when faced with substantive debate. Harry's misstep has sparked a larger conversation about the role of influencers in politics. On one hand, platforms like TikTok have democratized political discourse, giving younger generations a voice in a space traditionally dominated by older, more established figures. On the other hand, the pressure to maintain relevance and generate engagement can lead influencers to prioritize sensationalism over accuracy. Harry's trajectory is a cautionary tale of what happens when the line between advocacy and entertainment becomes blurred. The fallout from this incident has left Harry at a crossroads. His most loyal followers continue to defend him, arguing that his passion for progressive causes outweighs his occasional missteps. However, even his fans acknowledge that he needs to adapt if he wants to remain a credible figure in political commentary. The criticism hasn't just come from conservatives. Progressive commentators have also expressed frustration with Harry's refusal to admit when he's wrong and his tendency to double down on narratives that don't align with reality. Harry Sisson's story isn't just about one influencer, it's a reflection of a larger trend. As the lines between social media and traditional media blur, the expectations placed on influencers are evolving. Audiences no longer just want relatable content. They want accountability, nuance, and a willingness to engage with opposing views. For Harry, the path forward will require a significant shift in how he approaches his role as a political commentator. Whether he's willing to make that shift remains to be seen. For now, Harry's moment on Piers Morgan's show stands as a stark reminder of the challenges facing influencers who step into the political arena. The stakes are higher, the scrutiny is more intense, and the margin for error is razor thin. As the dust settles, the question remains: will Harry Sisson learn from this experience, or will he become another cautionary tale in the age of influencer politics? Only time will tell. What do you think? Can Harry bounce back and rebuild his credibility, or has this moment damaged his political career for good? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.